Have you ever felt that someone's praise was just a little too sweet? Or noticed that a friend's indifference to your success seemed almost intentional? The story. Imagine this. You're sharing the good news of a promotion at work with a close friend. They congratulate you, but something feels off. The smile doesn't reach their eyes, and they quickly change the subject. Later you find out they've been telling others that your promotion was just luck. This kind of behavior isn't just frustrating, it can be deeply hurtful. But it's also a clear sign of something deeper, envy and falsehood at play. And here's the thing. Recognizing these signs can help you protect your peace and maintain your integrity. In this video, we're diving deep into Stoic wisdom to uncover 12 ways to spot envy and falsehood in others. Stay with me till the end, and you'll not only learn how to recognize these signs, but you'll also gain the tools to rise above them, living a life guided by virtue and truth. Introduction to Stoicism and its relevance today. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy founded in Athens by Zeno of Citium, has endured through the century because of its practical approach to life. While it might seem distant or esoteric, Stoicism is profoundly relevant today, especially when navigating complex human emotions like envy and falsehood, in a world where social comparisons are more rampant than ever. Thanks to social media and constant connectivity, understanding Stoicism can offer a powerful lens to view these behaviors. Stoicism teaches us that our true happiness and peace come not from external circumstances, but from our inner state of virtue and wisdom. When you grasp this, you begin to see how envy and falsehood in others can be more about their inner turmoil than about you. This perspective is not just empowering, it's liberating. The Stoic concept of virtue. At the heart of Stoicism lies the concept of virtue. For the Stoics, virtue is the highest good and the only true measure of a person's worth. It is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Virtue, in the Stoic sense, is not just about being morally upright, it's about living in accordance with nature, reason, and the greater good. When faced with envy and falsehood, a Stoic response isn't to retaliate or succumb to anger, but to remain anchored in virtue. This means staying true to your values, being honest, and maintaining your integrity, no matter how others behave. Understanding and practicing virtue is crucial to recognizing and responding to envy and falsehood in a way that preserves your inner peace. Understanding envy. A Stoic perspective. Envy, according to the Stoics, is a destructive emotion. It stems from a misunderstanding of what is truly valuable. Envy arises when we focus on what others have, rather than appreciating what we have and what is within our control. It is a sign of misplaced priorities, where external success is mistakenly seen as the source of happiness. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, the man who craves more, that is poor." This craving, this constant comparison, is what breeds envy. From a Stoic perspective, recognizing envy in others and in ourselves is the first step toward overcoming it. By understanding that true wealth comes from virtue and contentment, we can begin to distance ourselves from the corrosive effects of envy. 1. Excessive flattery. One of the first signs of envy is excessive flattery. While genuine compliments are rooted in sincerity, flattery often carries a hidden agenda. When someone heaps praise on you that feels over the top, it may be a mask for deeper, less positive emotions, envy. Stoicism teaches us to be wary of such flattery. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, warned against the dangers of being swayed by flattery, reminding us to stay grounded and true to our principles. In dealing with excessive flattery, it's important to maintain humility and not let it cloud your judgment. Recognizing the potential envy behind the flattery allows you to stay vigilant and not be manipulated by those who may not have your best interest. Bind 2. Passive-aggressive behavior. Passive-aggressive behavior is another common sign of envy. This can manifest as backhanded compliments, subtle jabs, or actions that undermine you in indirect ways. The Stoic approach to dealing with passive aggression is rooted in patience and self-control. Instead of reacting emotionally, a Stoic would observe the behavior without attachment and choose a rational response. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, advised that we should not be disturbed by things beyond our control, including the behavior of others. By recognizing passive-aggressive behavior as a sign of envy, you can detach emotionally and respond with calmness and reason, rather than getting drawn into unnecessary conflict. Sign 3. The need to one-up another. Hallmark of envy is the constant need to one-up others. Whether it's in conversation, achievements, or possessions, the envious person always feels the need to outshine those around them. This behavior is rooted in insecurity and a lack of self-worth, where the person feels validated only by being perceived as superior. Stoicism teaches us the futility of this mindset. True contentment comes from within, not from external validation. When faced with someone who constantly tries to one-up you, the Stoic response is to remain indifferent. As Epictetus would say, focus on what is within your control, thoughts, actions, and responses, and let go of the need to compete with others. Recognizing this behavior as a sign of envy allows you to maintain your peace and not get caught up in the game of comparison. Sign 4. Spreading rumors. Spreading rumors is one of the most destructive forms of envy. When someone is envious of another's success or happiness, they may resort to spreading falsehoods to bring the other person down. Stoicism teaches the importance of maintaining your integrity and not letting such actions affect you. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the importance of not being swayed by the opinions or actions of others, especially when they are based on falsehood. When you encounter someone spreading rumors about you, it's important to stay true to your values and not retaliate. Recognize that the rumor monger's actions are a reflection of their own insecurities and not a true measure of your worth. By adhering to Stoic principles, you can rise above the falsehoods and maintain your dignity. Sign 5. Downplaying your achievements. When someone downplays your achievements, it's often a sign of envy. They may make comments that diminish your hard work or suggest that your success was due to luck rather than your efforts. This behavior is a way for them to cope with their own feelings of inadequacy. Stoicism teaches us to find our validation within ourselves, rather than seeking it from others. Seneca advised that we should not let the opinions of others dictate our self-worth. When faced with someone who downplays your achievements, it's important to stay confident in your own abilities and not let their envy affect your self-esteem. By recognizing this behavior, you can remain proud of your accomplishments without needing external validation. Sign 6. Imitating your action. Imitation can be a form of flattery, but it can also be a sign of envy. When someone begins to mimic your actions, style, or decisions, it could be because they admire you, but are also envious of your success. Stoicism encourages authenticity and being true to oneself. While it's flattering to be imitated, it's important to continue living in accordance with your own values and not be influenced by the actions of others. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. By staying true to yourself and your path, you can rise above the envy that may be driving others to imitate you. Recognize the imitation for what it is, and continue to focus on your own journey. Sign 7. Indifference to your success. When someone displays indifference to your success, it can be a subtle sign of envy. They may not congratulate you or acknowledge your achievements, hoping to minimize your joy. Stoicism teaches us to be indifferent to the indifference of others. Your happiness and self-worth should not be dependent on external validation. Epictetus taught that we should focus on our own action and not be overly concerned with how others respond to us. When you encounter indifference from others, recognize it as a potential sign of envy, but don't let it affect your inner peace. Continue to celebrate your successes and stay true to your values, regardless of how others may react. 8. Unexpected criticism. Criticism can sometimes come out of nowhere, especially when it's motivated by envy. The envious person may seek to bring you down by pointing out flaws or making negative comments that seem unwarranted. Stoicism teaches us to welcome criticism. It is constructive, but to also recognize when it is driven by envy. Marcus Aurelius advised that we should not be disturbed by the criticisms of others, especially when they are unjustified. When faced with unexpected criticism, take a step back and assess whether it is rooted in truth or envy. If it's the latter, don't let it affect your self-esteem. Stay confident in your own judgment and continue to live according to your principle. Sign 9. Exclusion from social circle. Envy can lead to social exclusion, where the envious person may try to isolate you from a group or exclude you from social activities. This behavior is a way for them to feel superior or to punish you for your success. Stoicism teaches us to be content with our own company and not to rely on external validation for our happiness. Epictetus emphasized the importance of being self-sufficient and not being overly concerned with the opinions of others. When faced with social exclusion, recognize it as a sign of envy and not a reflection of your worth. Stay true to yourself and find contentment in your own company, knowing that your value is not determined by your social standing. Sign 10. Siphoning credit. When someone takes credit for your work, it's often a sign of envy. They may feel threatened by your success and seek to diminish your accomplishments by claiming them as their own. Stoicism teaches the importance of focusing on what is within our control and not being overly concerned with external recognition. Marcus Aurelius advised that we should do our work for its own sake and not for the praise of others. When someone siphons credit, it's important to stay calm and not let it affect your inner peace. Recognize that true success comes from within, and that the opinions of others are ultimately beyond your control. By staying focused on your own path, you can continue to achieve success without being swayed by the envy of others. Sign 11. Undermining your confidence. Envious individuals may try to undermine your confidence by making subtle or overt comments that are designed to make you doubt yourself. This behavior is a way for them to feel superior or to bring you down to their level. Stoicism teaches the importance of maintaining self-confidence and not letting the opinions of others affect yourself. Seneca advised that we should not allow others to dictate how we feel about ourselves. When faced with someone who tries to undermine your confidence, it's important to stay grounded in your own beliefs and abilities. Recognize their behavior as a sign of envy and not a reflection of your worth. By staying true to yourself and your values, you can maintain your confidence and rise above their attempts to bring you down. Sign 12. Lack of empathy. Envy often leads to a lack of empathy, where the envious person may not be able to feel happiness for others or show genuine concern for their well-being. This behavior is rooted in their own insecurities and inability to be content with their own lives. Stoicism teaches the importance of cultivating empathy and understanding for others, regardless of how they may treat us. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of being kind and compassionate, even in the face of envy or hostility. When you encounter someone who lacks empathy, recognize it as a sign of their own struggles and not a reflection of your worth. By practicing empathy yourself, you can rise above their envy and continue to live according to your principle. Recognizing falsehood, Stoic insight. Falsehood, like envy, is often rooted in insecurity and a desire to manipulate or control others. Stoicism teaches the importance of honesty and integrity in all aspects of life. When you encounter falsehood in others, it's important to stay true to your own values and not be swayed by their deceit. Marcus Aurelius advised that we should not be disturbed by the falsehoods of others, but rather focus on living a life of virtue and truth. By recognizing falsehood for what it is, you can protect yourself from being manipulated and maintain your integrity. The relationship between envy and falsehood. Envy and falsehood often go hand in hand, as the envious person may resort to lies and deceit to achieve their goals. Stoicism teaches that true happiness and success come from living a life of virtue, not from manipulating others or seeking external validation. When you encounter someone who is both envious and deceitful, it's important to stay true to your values and not be drawn into their games. Recognize that their behavior is a reflection of their own inner turmoil and not a measure of your worth. By staying focused on your own path and living according to Stoic principles, you can rise above their envy and falsehood. Stoic practices to deal with envy in others. When faced with envy in others, Stoicism offers practical steps to maintain your peace and integrity. First, practice indifference to the opinions and actions of others, recognizing that their envy is a reflection of their own struggle. Second, focus on your own actions and values rather than seeking external validation or approval. Third, cultivate empathy and understanding, even for those who may be envious of you. By following these Stoic practices, you can protect yourself from the negative effects of envy and continue to live a life of virtue and content. Stoic advice on cultivating virtue in a world of envy. Living a life of virtue in a world filled with envy and falsehood is not easy, but it is the path to true happiness and fulfillment. Stoicism teaches that virtue is the highest good and the only true measure of success. By staying true to your values and focusing on what is within your control, you can navigate the challenges of envy and falsehood with grace and integrity. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. By living a life of virtue, you can rise above the envy and falsehood of others and find true peace and content. Final thoughts on Stoicism and human behavior. In conclusion, Stoicism offers timeless wisdom for understanding and navigating the complex emotions of envy and falsehood in others. By recognizing these behaviors for what they are and applying Stoic principles in your own life, you can protect your peace, maintain your integrity, and live a life guided by virtue. Remember, the opinions and actions of others are beyond your control, but how you respond to them is within your power. By staying true to your values and focusing on what is within your control, you can rise above the challenges of envy and falsehood and live a life of true contentment and fulfillment. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on Stoicism and personal growth. Join our community of individuals striving for a life of virtue and wisdom. And remember, the true measure of success lies within, not in the opinions of others. Stay true to yourself. Keep growing on your journey, becoming the best version of yourself.